Yo, 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 it's your man's Big Daddy Roughneck. You're tuned into the Gary Brugman Podcast. Prepare to be entertained.
Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 58 of the podcast. I'm here by myself today. TJ is traveling, and got some things I need to talk to you about. But hold on tight. We're going to be bouncing off guardrails, so let's get to it. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 58 of the Gary Brugman Podcast. I'll probably have a little guest on here in a little while, see if I can tune him in. But real quick, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been listening to the show. It's growing, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to get even better here real soon, I promise you that. Whatever platform you're listening on, leave us 5 stars and a short review so we can climb up that ratings ladder. Specifically, if you're on Apple Podcasts, or if you can go to iTunes and leave us those 5 stars in that review. It helps us a lot. It helps us push us up. We're trying to make Joe Rogan number 2. Joe Rogan has invaded Texas. Welcome to Texas, brother. But still, now I got to compete against you. And as usual, you're at the mercy of whatever interests me today. All right. I want to start by thanking Maximum Altitude for all your custom truck accessories and off-road needs. Call my brother Joey Max. Maximum Altitude has a state-of-the-art shop and showroom that's just going to floor you, man. He's got everything in there. It's pretty cool. Maximum Altitude's been in Texas here for 26 years, and he's the pioneer in custom trucks here in South Texas. So go to MaximumAltitude.com, Maximum Altitude on Facebook and Instagram, or just call my brother Joey direct at 210-655-0184. And don't worry, your wife called. She said it's okay. And so did your mother. Yeah, I know, it ain't the same without him. You got to bear with me now. Let me tell you people about Old Patrol HQ. Old Patrol HQ is a Facebook and Instagram page about life in the old Border Patrol. And if you wonder what the life of an old Border Patrol agent was like, you have to follow the Old Patrol HQ podcast. He's got agents from the 60s and 70s, old timers, man, that tell you stories you wouldn't believe. And he's got quotes from famous and not so famous PAs, Old Patrol agents. And don't forget to go to oldpatrolhq.bigcartel.com for some of the best Border Patrol merchandise around. And be ready to buy some stuff, man, because he's got some great cups, T-shirts, hats, and they also carry the official Gary Brugman Podcast T-shirt. That's right. $30 will get you a Gary Brugman Podcast T-shirt delivered. The shipping is included. So follow Old Patrol HQ on Facebook and Instagram for some history, laughs, and a few shenanigans along the way, because there ain't no patrol like the Old Patrol. Well, you know what comes next. All right. It ain't the same without him. What can I tell you? Hero Soap Company. Hero Soap Company strives to pay homage to the values that our country was founded on by our forefathers. It's a veteran-owned company, and a portion of sales is donated back to charities that are focused on helping veterans and first responders. And each bar of soap is made in Phoenix, Arizona, and all ingredients for the soap, their scrubs, and all the clothing are sourced from companies here in the United States of America. So go on there, check out the scrubs, check out their merchandise, their swag, all that stuff. And when you go to the cart and you're ready to check out, use promo code HONOR1ST. HONOR1ST. And it's a promo code they came up with just for listeners of the Gary Brugman Podcast. And they'll get you 10% off every time. Not just once, but every time it'll get you 10% off. So wash your taint. Wash your asses. We know what comes next. Just ain't the same without him. All right, people. So it's been a rough week. And I want to make a special dedication before I forget. There's a lady that I've known all my life, and she worked really, really, really hard to raise me right, and I kind of failed at being a good son sometimes. But I want to dedicate this episode to my mama, my mama Lydia Rodriguez, and this episode is dedicated to her. Come here, Micah. Come on here. Come on, check this out. Got my mama right here. There she is. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
There you go. Get in the camera. There you go. Look at that. All right. Get out of the camera. Sure. You're in the way. You're going to scare away my listeners. But we'll have more to follow on that. But, Mom, this episode is dedicated to you. So we've got a lot of things happening in the news, and the president's just announced his new pick for a Supreme Court justice, and already they're making a big freaking stink about it, and it's just kind of crazy. But things are going to be getting better and getting worse. I think it's getting better for the country as a whole, but I mean, things are going to get worse before they get better. And life is just difficult. So, you can make what you want of it, but, God has a plan and everything's combat. And as Lieutenant Colonel Dave Grossen says, it's all on spiritual combat. So get this book, read it. It's a great book. I'm part of the way through it. Haven't finished it yet, but it's a damn good book. We're going to be making some changes here on the podcast. Hopefully next month it's going to get better. Studio is going to get a little better. Picture quality is going to get better, and it's going to be epic, man. Y'all just wait and see. All right, y'all. So my mom has exited the studio, but yeah, I really didn't want to talk about what's going on in the country right now. I probably will later on, maybe not. Don't know. But, oh, you know what? Hold on. I forgot something. This is good. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not in my right mind right now. Oh, need to light up Old Glory. I knew something wasn't right. I kept looking. I was like, something ain't right. Old Glory ain't on. But anyway, I wanted to tell y'all, got some things going on in my world right now. So as I recapped last week, was it last episode? I was last weekend. I was in Orlando, Florida, for the Beyond the Battlefield Foundation fundraiser with Shadow Warrior Writers, and excuse me, sorry, and it was a great weekend. Raised some money for the Beyond the Battlefield Foundation. Ryan Weaver was there. My crew from Battle Line Tactical, everybody, Audacious Andy, Bad Rob, Jeremy, Christy Renfro, everybody was there. Saw some other friends, saw Amy. I saw everybody. If I'm leaving you out, sorry, but I saw everybody there, and it was a good time. But on my way back, I drove back with Christy so that she wouldn't have to drive through the storm. And I was in Beaumont, Texas, waiting on a flight because for some reason I couldn't get a freaking rental car from Beaumont to San Antonio. So I checked the cameras, and my mom had fallen on the ground. So from Beaumont, I'm stuck. I'm 5 hours away driving and 8 hours away flying. So I called the fire department, and they went in, they picked her up, and she was okay. She wasn't on the ground very long, 45 minutes. I had caught her right when it happened. So she stayed home, and my friend Melly went over and spent some time with her, and I got home. I got back to the airport to San Antonio that night, and I stayed with her on Monday night. And then on Tuesday morning, I ran some errands, got her some food, got her some chow to eat, stayed with her all day. And that evening, I had to come back, and TJ, I hadn't put out the podcast for Monday yet, so me and TJ were getting ready to record it. And right when I'm getting ready to hit record, I said, you know what, brother, let me check on my mom. And she was on the ground again. So she lives about 20 miles from me, so I hauled ass over there. And I called the fire department, and once again, they went in, and I knew the crew that had been there. I know the guys that went there, so they said, again, she's okay. She just couldn't get up. I've fallen, and I can't get up. So basically, that was her situation. And that's why I'm dedicating this podcast to her, because my mom was born in Puerto Rico in 1933, so she's 87 years old. And she had a bad fall in December. And she was on the ground for 18 hours. I was with my brother dispatch, and I was waiting on my workers' comp check so I can come head down and spend Christmas with her. It was Christmas Eve. And my mom calls me 5-10 times a day. And that day she hadn't called me once. And I found it a little odd, so I started calling her, and she didn't answer her phone, which isn't unusual because she always ignores my calls. But, come 2, 3 o'clock and I can't get hold of my mom, I was starting to worry. They didn't have cameras back then. Actually, this is the reason I put the cameras in. So I sent some police to her house, and they said that I started rolling down here, and they said that they were at the house. It was 7 p.m. and nobody's home. I'm like, well, then she's in trouble inside. So they were like, well, you don't live here. We can't just break down the door. I said, dude, she's in trouble. She doesn't go out. Well, maybe she's with a friend. I said, motherfucker, she's 87 years old. She doesn't go out without me. All right, she's got 2 friends, and she doesn't like either of them. So, and if she were to go out to a friend's house, she would tell me, but she doesn't. So I called up a buddy of mine, BA, and he knows my mom, known her for 20 years. And he's like, all right, I'm on my way over there. I'm going to roll the fire department. I'm on my way there. I was still 3 hours away. So they found her on the ground. She had been on the ground for almost 18 hours. She spent a month and a half in the hospital in rehab. And since then, I've basically taken control of her life. But she still lives alone. But I got cameras in, and I watch her, and I take her wherever she needs to go. I mean, and she's been she quarantined herself since that day. I mean, I quarantine her pretty much. She doesn't go out, and with all the COVID stuff, she only goes out with me, and that's about it. So, So I took her to get an MRI because she's got a little bit of kidney problems and stuff. So I took her to get an MRI on the 15th of September, a couple of weeks ago, and then I took her for follow-ups with her doctor. And the doctor asked me, "Did you get the reports?" I said, "No, I haven't gotten shit. They haven't called me." So he goes, "Okay, we're gonna get those reports." And that was on Thursday. They said they were gonna get the reports. So yesterday I was with her, and we were Walmart. I was getting her some stuff because after she fell on Tuesday, I brought her over to my house to stay with me. She can't be alone anymore. I made that decision, and she's not happy about it. Oh, she's not happy about it, believe me. She's got to live with me. I'm not easy to live with, for those of you that think that I'm all sweet. No, I got rules. It's my house. I got rules, and I don't care if you're 87 years old, you need to follow them. But she doesn't follow them anyway, but she's my mom. She gets away with it. But get a call from the doctor yesterday on a Saturday, which I found kind of odd. So to make a long story short, the doctor told me that he got the report from the MRI from the urologist, and she's got a sizable tumor on her bladder. And even though they haven't checked it yet, he's got no doubt that it's cancer by the way it looks and everything. So they're trying to figure out what they're going to do with her, what the plan is. She's got a follow-up this coming Tuesday. And I haven't told her yet. She was looking at me, and I walked away, and she said that when the doctor calls on a Saturday, it's not good news, but she doesn't care. So, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm trying to make her comfortable. I went and I bought her a bed because, her apartment's it's kind of gone downhill. It's deteriorated, and she's had the same bed she's lived in the same apartment, not complex, not, area. She's lived in the same apartment for 17 years. So, in the past few years, I take that back. In the past few months before she fell, she hasn't been taking good care of herself. So basically everything in there is kind of trashed, and I'm not bringing it. So I'm going to get her new stuff. So I bought her a bed, and I bought her a few things. And I'm trying to make her as comfortable as I can, but trying to figure out what the plan of attack is because, they're talking surgery, they're talking whatever, where they check your bladder through your urethra, shoving a tube up your. My mom's 87. She ain't gonna deal with any of that, and I gotta weigh the pros and the cons as to what's going on, because if they tell me, that if they tell me that, they're going to have to do surgery, let's say they're going to have to do surgery and cut, that tumor out of her bladder or whatever it is it worth her going through the pain to, live another year, or just, in pain or whatever, or just leave it the way it is? Chemotherapy, I don't even know if that's an option. We haven't talked about it, but chemotherapy, is it worth her going through all that suffering than just, enjoying living life the way she is now, because she's not in pain right now. So I need to figure out what I'm doing, and I have no idea how to go about it. So I'm going to try to get her somebody to come stay with her during the week because I'll do whatever it takes to take care of my mom. I mean, I give up my whole life or whatever, but I still can't be here 24 hours a day. I mean, I need to work. I need to do things. I need to, somebody's got to support us, but I can't be here 24 hours a day. So that's where we're rolling with this. And she, like I said, she was born in Puerto Rico in 1933, and she went to New York with my grandma and her sisters from Puerto Rico in 1950. So she's been in New York since 1950. I was born in 66, and it wasn't until 9/11. I was already here in Texas a few years. It wasn't until 9/11 that I brought her down here. So because she saw the whole thing from her apartment that she had up there in New York. So she worked in a jewelry store for 38 years. Bush Jewelry Store, like the beer, Bush Jewelry Store. And she started as a cashier. She started as a salesperson, cashier, became assistant manager, and then in the late 70s, early 80s, I may have gotten jammed up in some trouble, a little street kid, and, I might have been a little hood rat at the time. I'm not going to admit nor deny that. But she took me away from New York to Puerto Rico. We lived there for a couple of years. And then when we came back to New York, she went to go work for the same place again. And she became the bookkeeper. She was the bookkeeper of the store for many years until she retired after 38 years of working there. And ironically, the place went out of business. And I told her, of course they went out of business. You were the bookkeeper, Mom. So, but, she's always busted her ass. She put me through Catholic school most of my life. And, I don't know if that was a blessing or a curse, but I always consider it a blessing because I've always had God in my life. So, God's guided me through this, and we're going to make it happen, and she's going to be fine. So it's going to be a big, it's like overnight with one phone call, my life just changed. So now my life is committed to taking care of my mom. And it's kind of odd because, I'm okay with whatever the outcome's going to be because, when she was like 77, 78 years old, I was prepping myself thinking, man, my mom's 77 years old. I mean, how much longer is she going to last? And then she hit 80, then she hit 82, 84, 85. Now she's 87. So I've been prepping myself for this for a long time. So I'm good. I just need what rattles me is her because, those of you that know my mother know that she traveled everywhere, all around San Antonio on the bus. She went from here, she went downtown, she went all over the place. And I remember one time, I think it was around 2009, 2010. It was when the recession was happening. I had a crappy ass job selling rims. I sold like car rims. Oh my God, what a rough time that was. But I got through it. But I was selling rims, and I was loading up the van to go deliver some rims to Corpus Christi, and my phone rings, and it's my mom. I said, hey, Mom, and she goes, hold on, somebody wants to talk to you. And I said, okay. And she gives the phone to somebody, and the guy's like, hey, little brother, what's going on, man? I was like, who's this? He goes, this is Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, your mom told me you were a big fan of mine, and I'm just calling to say hello. And I'm like, yeah, I was a big fan of yours when I was 15. Nah, I still love the Hulkster, but it caught me by surprise. And what happened was she was watching the morning news in her house, and she saw that Hulk Hogan was downtown San Antonio. So she jumped her ass on a bus, got downtown, because she knew I liked Hulk Hogan when I was a kid, and she went up to him and gave him the phone. That's the kind of shit my mom did. So I remember I was working, and a San Antonio police officer friend of mine calls me up, and he's like, dude, I think I just saw your mom on Highway 90, and that's like 25 miles from where she lives. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, she's at the bus station on Highway 90, and that's all on the other side of the city. So she went out there, and she was going to her friend's house, and she's got this friend that is right now 100 years old. 100 years old. She likes that friend, but she doesn't get to see her much. Her friend's 100 years old, known me since I was a kid, obviously, and they grew up together in Puerto Rico, and she used to take 3 buses to go see that friend. And a couple of times she got lost. She spent all day on the bus and couldn't find a house. She'd get to the area but couldn't find a house, so she ended up coming back. And I'm like, Mom, why don't you call me? I got people everywhere. Why don't you call me? I didn't want to bother you. But yeah, it's the kind of stuff she does, man. And she took care of my grandma all her life, always lived with her. So, yeah, so that's what we're dealing with, and that's where I'm at. So I know this is not a very, very long podcast. It's not going to be very long, but I want to dedicate this one to her because if, I'm still going to move forward with the podcast regardless. It's going to be out twice a week regardless. Maybe it'll be a day late or whatever. You can send me the hate mail. I can deal with it. But, I'm going to be taking care of my mom, and the podcast still going to be out there. So I will keep everybody updated on what happens. But, now moving towards, the country. Before we go there, one thing that she kept saying, and now I'm going to make this about me again because it's not really about me. It's something that she wants. And, I'm working on my pardon, and it's everybody knows how hard I'm working on my pardon. So it's moving, and I think something's going to happen. I don't know for sure, but I got this good feeling that the president's going to hear about my case, and he's going to give me a pardon. Now, one thing that I always asked is that this January 2021, January 14th, 2021 is going to be 20 years that the initial incident that I got convicted for happened. 20 years. So I ended up with a 2-year sentence, but this has been going on in my life for 20 years. My mom's been seeing me through all of it. And one thing that I always wished was that I would get a pardon before she passes so that she can see that I'm going to be all right. Because she knows what this whole situation's done to me. She's seen me at my worst. She's visited me in prison. She was there when the U.S. Marshals kicked down my door. They threw her on the floor. When I think she was 70, it was 2004, so that's 16 years ago. So she was 71, 72 years old, something like that. And they came in at about 5:15 in the morning, basically knocked down the door, cuffed me up, and she was coming out of the room because she heard the commotion, and they threw her back down on the bed. And so she was there when I got busted. She was there when the marshals came in and dragged me away. And then after that, she didn't see me again for almost 8 months because they took me away. So she's been going through this as long as I have. And one of the things that I requested and that I pray for and hope for was that I would get a pardon before she passes so that she can see that I'm going to be okay. And I'm going to be okay. I just wanted her to see it. And it was part of her bucket list. So, hopefully that'll happen. I hope and pray that happens. Maybe something will happen soon. I'm keeping a positive attitude. I'm going to do everything I can to help her. I'm going to take a sip of beer right now, Dos Equis. Throat's getting a little dry. But yeah, and I'm pushing the pardon. And I just met some great people in Florida who said that they're going to try to help me, and I still have to get some stuff out to him. Rick, I'm talking about you. Thank you, sir. And man, I met some great people in Florida, and I've been calling the family and letting them know what's happening, keep updating them. Told everybody, hey, if you want to see her, you better get your ass out to Texas because I can't say how long she's going to be around. I hope and pray she's around for another 10, 20 years, or I hope she outlives me. But realistically, she's deteriorating, and I don't want to see her suffer. I would rather her not be here than see her suffer the way she is, because she's very independent, and she keeps saying she wants to go home to her apartment. I'm like, Mom, you don't live there anymore. You live with me. She argues with me. What about my stuff? I said, well, technically, it's my stuff. It was all my stuff that I had from when I was a Border Patrol agent and we moved to San Antonio, and then they took me away, so you kept it. So technically, it's my stuff. But all that's gonna go. I brought over some of her pictures that she's got on the walls. I'm trying to make her as comfortable as I can. So that's where I'm at. It's a life changer, man. It's a fucking life changer. But God's guiding me through it, and I'm good. I just I really need to make the right decisions from here on in. And I don't know what those right decisions are. So, moving on. let's not forget that Chris Tanto Peranto, Ben Morgan, and Benny Glossop, and the whole Battle Line Tactical crew are going to be at Defender Outdoors in November. I don't have the exact date on me. I should have planned that, but I don't. But it's in November, and you can check on the Defender Outdoors website. It's going to be there on Battle Line Tactical, and I'll post it on my website once this is all done. But I'm going to be there, help Chris with whatever he needs, and say hello. And it's going to be a good class. It's a good class. So if y'all can afford it, sign up. Sign up. It's a great class. 2-day class, Saturday, Sunday. And I plan on I was planning on taking my mom for a cruise across the country, and I'm still going to try to do that. But that might be on hold right now. But life is good. Life isn't easy. Life isn't fair, but life is good. And that's what my mom always tells me. So I'm sorry if my head isn't here today. It's been a little. Everything's rattled me a little bit, but things go on, and I still got my network of people that have been holding me up. Bad Rob, Jeremy, Christy, my brother Norman G, and so many others. Kimfer, she's been there, and Fairy Gun Mother, she's always there. Edwina Parker from Defender Outdoors, and she's awesome. She's awesome, and I don't know how I'm gonna tell my little Ziva, but fuck, I haven't even told my mom what's going on yet. But I'm gonna leave that till Tuesday. Let the doctor tell her, not me, because I ain't telling that shit. I know I should, but I ain't. So y'all can kiss my ass. I ain't doing it. But I'm gonna make it comfortable till then. And the country's heading in a crazy direction. November 3rd's coming up, and I'm riding this wave because I can't vote. So I'm urging everybody to go vote. You freaking conservatives, you freaking Republicans that always think, we got this, or my vote's not going to count, or whatever. That's one thing that I got to hand to the Democrats is they stick together. They stick together and they get shit done. Not the right shit, but they get shit done because they stick together and they come out in droves. All right, Republicans. Man, I don't know what the deal is, but y'all need to freaking show up in force. Y'all need to get out and vote. Get out and vote for Donald Trump and make this happen, because can you imagine an administration under Biden-Harris? Can you imagine the things that are going to happen? And even if our president wins and we do win the election, they're still going to try to take it away from him because the hatred is so bad. It used to be that politics was a noble service. It was an honor to serve in politics. And right now, the way these fucking Democrats think is just, it's tyranny. It's tyranny. Is the president perfect? No, he's not. But he's one of the best that we've had. And if you don't like it, fuck you. All right? So get out and vote. Get out and vote. I depend on you. I depend on you because I can't vote. Okay? Which is the reason I'm seeking a pardon. I want my rights back. I want to be able to vote. I want to be able to carry a firearm and protect my family, especially when all this bullshit happens. It's me and my mom now. So if I'm taking her to a freaking doctor's appointment and something happens and we come across protesters and they come trying to yank me out of my truck, there ain't shit I can do. Oh, well, believe me, they're going to become fucking road pizza. But that's besides the point. I can't defend myself from my mom or my family. So I want my rights back. I want my fucking rights back. And this president is the only one that can do it. So now more than ever, if you have any contact to get to the president, a janitor, anything, a secretary or whatever, the guy who washes the freaking beast, the bulletproof Cadillac, I don't give a shit. Make some calls out. Make some calls out. If you know how to get hold of Donald Trump Jr., make some calls out. You know how to get hold of Eric Trump, Lara Trump, Ivanka Trump, anybody. Make some calls, all right? Put your name out there for me. Now I'm fucking asking because I want my mom to see this happen if it happens. And the president may decide to say, you know what, fuck that guy. I'm not giving him a president. I'm not giving him a pardon. Then that's fine. Then I have to move on. But, I know so many people that have direct contact with the president. A lot of the people A lot of the military veterans have been at presidential events for saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You know who you are, all right? And you haven't mentioned a word. Everybody talks to the Trumps all the time, you know? Nobody mentions a word. Charlie Kirk, help me out, man. Help me out. We've met. You said you were going to help me. Help me out. Let's do it. I mean, now I'm asking. I haven't asked favors from anybody. I've been calling out, saying you have this, but now I'm calling you out directly. Help me out. Help me get my pardon so I can continue serving. This country needs police officers right now, and that's what I want to go back to being. All right? I'll give everything up just to go back to be a police officer and serve the country and protect America and protect those in need. So, I mean, everybody, let's do it. And I will make you fucking proud, you know? And it's kind of weird because, you know, like I said, all these people have direct contact to the president, but they don't do anything. You know, it's kind of like sometimes when, you know, when I was falling, I went through some stuff with, you know, with some law enforcement. It's like, you know, hey, brother, I love you, brother. I'll take a bullet for you, brother. Don't get me jammed up with IA. All right, so you take a bullet for me, but you won't lose a job for me, even if I'm right? You know, you won't lose a job by associating with me because I'm a felon? You know, but you take a bullet for me, you'll die. Separated from your family, gone forever because, you know, we're bros. But don't make me lose my job. That's how, you know, and I get that. I get it. I really, really do because, you know, careers are important. You know, and careers don't come knocking at your door every day. You make a career. That's your whole livelihood. I get it. You know, I get it. No animosity, but I'm just saying, it's time. I got to get this pardon done. I need to move it. I need to get it happening. And sip a beer. So before I continue, I want to throw it out there to Heroes Media Group. And I don't have the fucking thing in front of me, but Heroes Media Group, as you know, we are proud to announce that we have been picked up and are a member of the Heroes Media Group network. And go to heroesmediagroup.com and Heroes Media Group on Instagram and Facebook. And if you go to heroesmediagroup.com, you can listen to our podcast there. And there are all kinds of podcasts, man. They got great shows on there. You can listen to, or you can go to GaryBrugman.com, www.GaryBrugman.com, and listen to the podcast there. There's links to everything. I update the website weekly, and or you can listen to me on your favorite platform. It doesn't matter. And go to YouTube. Our videos are on YouTube right now, and that's going to get better too. So I'm working on making this podcast great for you. And if anybody wants to support the podcast, send me a message on Instagram. It's Gary_Brugman_podcast. Y'all know where to find me. And if you want to help the podcast with a donation, I'd appreciate it so we can get better. I need better equipment. I need better lighting. Look at this. I need better lighting. Yeah, because I'm really, really a semi-good-looking guy. But all you see is a blurry image on the on the screen here. But I'm nowhere near as good looking as Dave DeVito. Oh no, forget about that. You know, I can't compare to that stud or Big Daddy Roughneck. You know, put a cowboy hat on him. He looks like freaking what the hell does he look like? Kenny Chesney. Yeah, that's what he looks like, Kenny Chesney. But yeah, man. So if y'all want to support the podcast that way, I would appreciate it. I don't usually try to ask for much, and I do things on my own because this is my therapy. This is what keeps me sane, and it's going to continue. And I loved meeting everybody last weekend, and I want to meet everybody that listens to the podcast. So share the podcast, leave me 5 stars, and I need to before we split. I also need to thank Active Carry Technologies. Active Carry Technologies is it's a great company, man. It was developed for everyone, and after several years of designing kits with state and federal agencies, they saw an opportunity to cover a couple of concepts that were being ignored. And the first is that everyone is capable of being a first responder. So go to Active Carry Tech. That's Active Carry TEC. Drop the H.com, and check out their website, man. They got a bunch of stuff on there. They got links to their tactical kits, to their IFAKs. They got headgear, accessories, and they even got things that are in development. And I fucking love them. I fucking love them. For those of you that know Habla, IFAK is an individual first aid kit, and they have a bunch of tactical kits as well. Mine being the BORTAC. And check them out. They're on Instagram too. They post great stuff on Instagram. So they're a great company. They're a huge supporter of the Gary Brugman podcast. And go to Hero Soap Company, who are a great supporter of the Gary Brugman podcast as well. And Maximum Altitude, Old Patrol HQ. Get your official Gary Brugman t-shirt. Going to have some hats coming out soon. And people, I know it's kind of short. It's a little over a half hour, but you know what? I got some things going on, and I got to roll. So God bless y'all. And I don't have the man here with me, but that concludes this episode of the Gary Brugman podcast. Y'all stay frosty and always watch your six. So remember, stay vigilant, stay safe, be savage. God, Texas, and honor first. And we are